Chapter 11 Struck by Lightning. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After realizing something was wrong, Yu Engine continued to stroke the top of Yu Tianlin's head, sensing it carefully. Yu Tianlin felt a little strange. What happened to his grandfather? He kept touching his head. Yu Tianlin wanted to shake his head subconsciously, but Yu Engine said in a low voice, "Don't move." After groping carefully, Yu Engine felt the slight fluctuation of soul power again, and leaned over to observe, and focused his eyes on the blue-purple 3-inch hair on the top of Yu Tianlin's head. Touching the dull hair on the top of Yu Tianlin's head with his fingers, Yu Engine said in surprise, "Tianlin, your strand of hair seems to be a bit problematic. You know, the Orthodox Landian Overlord clan members all have pure black hair, and Yu Tianlin used to have the same. Why is it that after going out for a trip now, after absorbing a soul ring, there is a strand of blue-purple hair in the middle of the top of his head? More importantly, this strand of hair still exudes fluctuations in soul power, but the fluctuations in soul power are extremely subtle. If Yu Engine hadn't touched it with his own hands, he wouldn't be able to feel it at all." "Grandpa, what are you talking about? What happened to my hair?" Yu Tianlin looked puzzled, completely unaware of what his grandfather was talking about. Yu Engine didn't explain, just took out a mirror from his storage soul tool, handed it to Yu Tianlin, and said, "Look for yourself." Not caring about complaining about why his grandpa, a hunk, carried such things as mirrors with him, Yu Tianlin directly took it and took a picture of himself. Taking a look in the mirror, Yu Tianlin also found a distinctive strand of hair on the top of his head. Yu Tianlin subconsciously stretched out his hand to smooth it out, but as soon as he let go, the strand of hair would curl up again. Yu Tianlin was a little startled. "Isn't this the same as the silly hair in the anime I watched in my previous life?" Yu Engine reminded, "Look carefully, your extra strand of hair is blue-purple, which is different from the original black, and there are subtle soul power fluctuations in your strand of hair." Yu Tianlin looked at Yu Engine and asked, "Grandpa, what's going on? How did my hair become like this?" Yu Engine didn't answer directly, but just clamped the dull hair on Yu Tianlin's head with his fingers, looked over, and gradually showed an excited smile. "Could it be that thing? But it's not right. How could such a thing appear in a soul beast that is less than 100 years old?" Thinking of this, Yu Engine was a little uncertain, but still looked at Yu Tianlin with burning eyes, and said, "Tianlin, you enter the state of meditation now, and then concentrate all your perception on your head to see if you can feel the subtle fluctuations of soul power emanating from this strand of hair. If you can feel it, try to input soul power into it. If I'm not mistaken, this lock of hair of yours may be a spirit bone, and it's also a very special external spirit bone among spirit bones." External spirit bone. Hearing Yu Engine's words, Yu Tianlin was stunned. "This is too ridiculous. It's just a strand of hair, with a soul bone attached to it." "Grandpa, I don't read much, so don't lie to me." Yu Tianlin couldn't help but said, "Grandpa, this is impossible. I just absorbed a thundering hell vine that has been cultivated for more than 90 years. How can a soul beast that has not even reached the level of a century produce a soul bone?" Yu Engine said, "Ordinary spirit bones are of course impossible, but if it is an external spirit bone, that's another story. The external spirit bone is the most special type of spirit bone. It is less affected by the spirit beast's own cultivation, and more depends on the state of the spirit beast when it dies. The cultivation level of the Thundering Hell Prison Vine is extremely close to a century, and once it reaches the 100-year level, the Thundering Hell Prison Vine will undergo earth-shaking changes. It is not an exaggeration to call it a fish leaping over the dragon's gate. But you killed it at this time. Probably its resentment has already soared into the sky, and it is not impossible for an external spirit bone to explode under such circumstances." Well, although Yu Engine guessed correctly, the deduction process was not necessarily correct. In any case, it is impossible for a soul beast that has not reached the 100-year level to explode its soul bone, but if this soul beast can be related to a god, it will be different. Yu Tianlin didn't know much about soul bones and external soul bones, so when he heard his grandfather say such a serious thing, he nodded in doubt. "Okay, then I'll try." Yu Tianlin took 2 steps back, sat cross-legged in the center of the hall, quickly concentrated his mind, and after entering the state of meditation, he turned all his attention to the top of his head and silently sensed it. after about 10 minutes, Yu Tianlin finally felt a faint fluctuation of soul power from the top of his head. After careful sensing, it seemed to be exactly where the strand of hair was. Really, could it be that it was an external spirit bone? Yu Tianlin was a little excited in his heart. He mobilized a bit of soul power, and injected it into that strand of dull hair. In the outside world, Yu Yuanjin, who had been observing all the time, saw Yu Tianlin's dull hair jump suddenly, and then there was no movement. Yu Yuanjin shouted in a low voice, "There is a reaction, continue to increase the input of soul power." Yu Tianlin continued to mobilize his soul power as he said, this time, he directly injected a large amount of soul power into his strand of dull hair. I saw that strand of blue-purple hair on the top of Yu Tianlin's head suddenly trembled, standing up like a long needle, with a faint thunder light lingering on it, because the Blue Lightning Overlord Dragon's martial soul has the ability of lightning. In order to have a better cultivation environment, the Blue Lightning Overlord Sect chose a place where there are thunderstorms all the year round, but it doesn't rain much. At this time, accompanied by the muffled thunder, a bolt of lightning slammed down from high in the sky, pierced the sky in an instant, and came to the top of the meeting hall of the Blue Lightning Overlord Sect. After tearing the dome of the hall, it hit Yu Tianlin, who was sitting cross-legged. Yu Tianlin was struck by lightning. Well, it wasn't like being struck by lightning, but he was indeed struck by lightning. After a burst of convulsions, he collapsed directly to the ground. Tianlin, that the speed of the lightning was extremely fast, and Yu Yuanjin didn't expect this kind of thing to happen at all, so he was caught off guard and didn't help Yu Tianlin stop it. But when Yu Tianlin was struck by lightning, Yu Yuanjin also reacted instantly, and came to Yu Tianlin's side in a flash, helped him up, and penetrated his soul power into Yu Tianlin's body, checking his physical condition. Sect Master, that was just now. At this time, a group of guards at the door rushed in. The Zoneman's meeting hall was suddenly struck by lightning, and they had to come in to check the situation. Maybe an enemy came to attack. Go back to me. Yu Yuanjin didn't have time to chat nonsense with the guards at this time, so he shouted and signaled them to get out of here. End of this chapter. Chapter 12. The color of the soul ring has changed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Yu Yuanjin's majestic soul power poured into his body, Yu Tianlin immediately felt a lot better, and the convulsions in his body stopped. Yu Tianlin opened his mouth, exhaled a puff of white air, and said, "Grandpa, I'm fine, I can stop now." Although the flash of lightning just now looked scary, but for some reason, it didn't cause any harm to Yu Tianlin at all. It just made him paralyzed and his muscles twitched. Finding that Yu Tianlin was indeed not injured, Yu Yuanjin stopped his movements, helped Yu Tianlin up, and asked, "Tianlin, what happened just now?" Yu Tianlin said with a strange expression, "When I sent my soul power to the lock of hair on the top of my head, I suddenly felt that the hair stood on end, as if it was attracting something. In other words, that bolt of lightning just now was attracted by this strand of my hair." Hearing what Yu Tianlin said, Yu Yuanjin frowned. Is the ability to attract lightning? Tianlin, try again and see if you can control the attracted lightning to attack others. Don't be afraid. If this lightning even attacking you, I will help you block it. Okay. Although Yu Tianlin felt that it seemed impossible to do this, but since his grandfather asked for it, then he just had to do it again. Yu Tianlin sat cross-legged, and injected soul power into the wisp of hair on top of his head. However, the result was still the same as before. Another bolt of lightning struck down, and after opening a hole in the dome of the meeting hall, it hit Yu Tianlin directly. But this time Yu Yuanjin was well prepared, and he was standing beside Yu Tianlin, so he directly blocked the lightning bolt. Yu Yuanjin frowned and said, "Tianlin, can't you control this lightning to attack others?" "Ah, it seems like this." Sensing that the lightning was blocked by Yu Yuanjin, Yu Tianlin opened his eyes, nodded a little embarrassedly, and said, "After inputting the soul power into this strand of hair, I felt a feeling of lightning, and then I tried hard to control it, but found that it had no effect at all, and the lightning I attracted could only strike on my bristling hair." Yu Yuanjin didn't know what was going on for a while, and said to himself, "What kind of weird ability is this? It can only attract lightning to strike him." Self-harm. Yu Tianlin also felt very speechless. He didn't seem to have made any poisonous oath in his previous life. why did he gain such a fucking ability after time travel? At this moment, an old voice sounded from outside the hall, brother, what's going on here? Yu Tianlin looked back and saw Yu Luomian walking in. Yu Luomian glanced at Yu Tianlin, and then said to Yu Yuanjin, brother, why was the conference hall suddenly struck twice by lightning? Is there an enemy invasion? Ahem, it's nothing. Yu Yuanjin coughed dryly, and concealed it. I just had a sudden realization and used the power of thunder, but I didn't expect that it happened to trigger the lightning in the sky. No matter what the ability of Yu Tianlin's strand of hair is, since it has been judged that it is an external spirit bone, it is better to keep it secret and not let too many people know. Yu Luomian did not continue to ask, and said to Yu Tianlin, Tianlin, you go back first, I have something to discuss with your grandfather. Yu Yuanjin also nodded at Yu Tianlin, indicating that he could go back. Yu Tianlin opened his mouth, wanting to ask Yu Yuanjin when he would give him the Longyuan fruit, but seeing Yu Luomian was there, he thought about it, turned around and left the meeting hall without saying anything. After leaving the conference hall, Yu Tianlin had no other place to go, so he went straight home. His father, Yu Mingfeng, is in retreat at an exclusive practice site, and only his mother, Yuro, is at home. Seeing Yu Tianlin's return, Yuro showed a surprised expression and asked, hey, Xiaolin, you're back so soon. How is it? The first spirit ring is okay, right? Yu Tianlin gave a wry smile, and directly stimulated his own soul power. After the lightning-shaped lines condensed between his eyebrows, a soul ring slowly rose. This is my first soul ring, from the thundering hell prison vine. The year is 9, that just when Yu Tianlin was introducing it to his mother, he suddenly caught sight of his soul ring from the corner of his eye. He found that his soul ring was actually yellow. Although the color was very light, it was definitely yellow. How is this going? My soul ring is yellow, centennial level. Yu Tianlin was a little dazed, but he quickly came to his senses. I remember that in the original book, Tang San absorbed 3 15-ton Ant-Emperor spirit rings at the 9-year level at the same time. After the absorption, all 3 spirit rings mutated and became 10-year level spirit rings. The Laming Hell prison vine that I killed was extremely close to the level of 100 years. Like Tang San, I may have mutated when I absorbed this spirit ring, and the life of the spirit ring was raised to the level of 100 years, but it's not right. When I showed my grandfather Yu Yuanjin the spirit ring in the Zongman's meeting hall just now, it was obviously still at the 10th level. Even if there was a faint yellow light in the white color of the spirit ring, it only represented it is only close to the 100-year level, and it is completely different from the current pale yellow. What is the situation? Yu Tianlin couldn't figure it out for a while. At this time, in the Zongman hall, Yu Luomian looked at Yu Yuanjin and said, brother, did you plan to give Tianlin a dragon source fruit just now? Hearing Yu Luomian's words, Yu Yuanjin froze with his hands behind his back, but his expression remained unchanged, and he said, why, what do you mean by this sentence? Yu Luomian sneered and said, brother, don't pretend. Tianlin is born full of soul power, and his affairs can be regarded as a big event, so we have been paying attention to it all the time. After Yu Jian brought Tianlin back today, we sent Yu Jian called over to ask. We old fellows already know about Tianlin's spirit ring. The elders already knew it, and it would be meaningless to keep it hidden. Yu Yuanjin was silent for a while, and said, since you know that there is something wrong with Tianlin's soul ring, you should also know that the only remedy is Longyuanguo. So brother. Yu Luomian interrupted Yu Yuanjin directly, and said, we also feel very sorry about Tianlin's matter, but don't you know how important that Longyuan fruit is? Originally, according to the rules of the sect, the suzerain accounted for % of the weight of the dragon source fruit, and the remaining % was divided among us elders. Logically speaking, you can indeed dispose of your own dragon source fruit at will, but now it is a special situation. Time, Point 2 updates today, please collect, please recommend tickets, end of this chapter. Chapter 13 Promise, the battle after 4 months. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 13 Promise, the battle after 4 months. Yu Luomian said without flinching, since the Haotian Douluo fought against the Pope of the Wuhuan Palace 6 years ago, Heoshanzong announced his retirement. The situation on the mainland seems to be calm, but in fact it is undercurrents. After Chihiro, the previous pope of the Spirit Hall, died of a serious injury, the new Bibi Dong was planning something in her heart. She always felt that she was targeting our Blue Lightning Overlord Sect intentionally or unintentionally. The Haotian school doesn't know which corner to hide in, so our best choice now is to unite with the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile School to jointly resist the pressure from the Wuhuan Palace. But Ning Fengji, the current helm of the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile School, also it's not a simple character, with a deep mind, and it's not easy to form an alliance. Yu Luomian looked directly at her eldest brother Yu Yuanjin, and said in a deep voice, in the final analysis, you have to be strong yourself to forge iron, so our 6 elders will give up our share of Longyuan fruit and give all the Longyuan fruit to you. You, I hope you can take another step forward and break through to level 97, so that our Blue Lightning Overlord Sect will have the confidence to deal with all difficulties. Speaking of this, Yu Luomian laughed at herself. If our elders take their own dragon origin fruit, maybe they can break through the current level, and I still have a little chance to break through to the titled Douluo realm. However, I chose to give up and give you the Longyuan fruit, but now you want to give the Longyuan fruit to Tianlin. Yu Yuanjin has been quietly listening to his younger brother's explanation. At this time, when he heard Yu Tianlin mentioned by him, Yu Yuanjin finally said, Luo Mian, Tianlin is only one in our Blue Lightning Overlord Sect in 100 years. Congenitally full of soul power, his talent is unparalleled, and it will not be a problem to cultivate to level 95. Now there is something wrong with his soul ring, if it is not remedied, his talent will be wasted, Yu Luomian retorted, brother. There are priorities. Even if the age of the youngest titled Douluo Tang Hao is calculated, it will take 40 years for Tianlin to break through to the realm of titled Douluo. After 40 years, Ghost, I know what the situation in the mainland will look like. The most urgent thing is to improve your strength, big brother. Yu Yuanjin was silent for a moment, and said without giving in, I am the suzerain of the Blue Lightning Overlord Sect, I have the final say. Longyuan fruit must be given. Brother, do you really want to do this? Yu Luomian didn't expect that she said such a big deal, and it was all nonsense. Yu Yuanjin didn't listen to a word, and couldn't help but said angrily, okay, if that's the case, then come up with a charter. Last night, I awakened Tian Qing's martial soul. Not surprisingly, the martial soul is the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex, and his innate soul power is level 8.5. Yu Luomian said, in 4 months, Tianqing's soul Li will definitely be able to break through the 10th level, and I will naturally take him to find a suitable soul ring. After reaching the 11th level, let Tianqing and Tianlin fight. If Tianlin wins, Longyuanguo can give him he, if Tianlin loses, then don't mention this matter again. Yu Luomian sneered and said, well, this is fair. After 4 months, Tianlin must have reached the 12th level, or even close to the 13th level, and has a certain advantage in soul power. Even if his spirit ring is a little worse than Tianqing's, if they cancel each other out, the strength of the two is about the same. Hearing Yu Luomian's words, Yu Yuan said angrily, Luo Mian, you awakened Tianqing's martial soul last night. Isn't he still 6 years old? How could you do this? What if something goes wrong? My own grandson, I have a plan in mind. Tianqing is only less than a month away from the age of 6, so the influence is not big. Yu Luomian said, brother, do you dare to accept this challenge? Yu Yuanjin was also unambiguous, and directly agreed, okay, I will fight. My grandson can't beat your grandson. That's it. I'll go back and inform the other elders. I think they won't have any other opinions. After receiving the exact answer, Yu Luomian turned around and was about to leave. When he walked to the door of the meeting hall, he suddenly turning his head to Yu Yuanjin, he said, brother, before the duel between their 2 children, you don't want to give the Longyuan fruit to Tianlin in advance. Yu Yuanjin said impatiently, understood, I won't do something like breaking my promise and getting fat. Yu Luomian didn't say much anymore, and walked away directly. However, he had just walked a few steps when he saw Yu Tianlin running towards the meeting hall. what is Tianlin doing in the conference hall again? Could it be to ask for Longyuan fruit? Although a little puzzled, Yu Luomian didn't care that he still knows his elder brother well. As long as Yu Yuanjin promises to do something, he will never go back on his word. Tianlin is destined to make a futile trip. Thinking of this, Yu Luomian shook his head, ignored it, and left directly. Yu Tianlin's soul ring has changed. He is now full of surprises, vaguely guessed some reasons, but he is not sure. So now he hurried to the meeting hall, wanting his grandfather to show him, analyze. Yu Tianlin didn't ask the guard to report this time, and ran into the hall directly. Tianlin, why are you here again? Seeing that Yu Tianlin had just returned not long ago, and now he ran over again, Yu Yuanjin knew it in his heart, thinking that Yu Tianlin came to beg for Longyuan fruit from himself, and opened his mouth said, I just promised your second grandfather. However, Yu Tianlin directly interrupted Yu Yuanjin's words, excitedly said, Grandpa, look. Saying that, Yu Tianlin directly stimulated his own soul power, and as the thunder light flickered on his body, after a lightning pattern appeared between his eyebrows, a light yellow halo slowly rose. Yu Tianlin's eyes shone with excitement. Grandpa, I don't know why, but my soul ring has turned yellow. It's different from the white-yellow one just now. This one is pure yellow now. Yu Yuanjin was still thinking about Longyuanguo, but now he suddenly saw the pale yellow soul ring on Yu Tianlin's body, and subconsciously got up from his seat. Yu Tianlin only felt a flash in front of his eyes, and his grandfather appeared beside him, observing the soul ring on his body. It's really a yellow soul ring. Yu Yuanjin was stunned. Although the color is very light, it has undoubtedly reached the 100-year level. Yu Yuanjin couldn't figure it out for a while. No, if the soul ring mutates, it will only happen during the absorption process. However, when I saw your soul ring just now, it was still white and yellow. Why did it suddenly change now? Yu Tianlin had some guesses, and couldn't wait to say, just now, my soul ring was white and yellow, but now it suddenly turned yellow, so this change was undoubtedly completed during the period just now. Speaking of this, Yu Tianlin and Yu Yuanjin looked at each other, and said in unison, Lightning Strike. End of this chapter. Chapter 14 Lightning Strike Upgrade Soul Ring Year. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yu Tianlin said, that's right, it was a lightning strike. It must have been struck by lightning after I pushed that lock of hair just now. The lifespan of the soul ring has been increased, breaking through the century limit. Yu Yuan nodded clearly. Think about it carefully. The thundering hell prison vine uses lightning strikes to improve its own cultivation. Every 100 lightning strikes is equivalent to 1 year of cultivation. Your external soul bone comes from the thundering hell prison vine, then presumably its ability is to enhance the year of the soul ring through lightning strikes. Just now I thought your ability with this strand of hair was extremely embarrassing, but looking at it now, I'm afraid it's not so strong. I just don't know what is the upper limit of the age of your own soul ring through this method, 10,000 years. Or 10 years. Also, I don't know if this ability will have the same improvement effect on the next few soul rings. While Yu Yuanjin was thinking, Yu Tianlin couldn't help asking, Grandpa, now that I have this ability, the year of the first soul ring will be promoted soon, so my first problem can be considered solved. Alright, as for the missing dragon power, you see. Hearing Yu Tianlin's words, Yu Yuanjin couldn't help but smile. Yu Yuanjin knew that there were two main reasons why his younger brother and the remaining elders did not agree to give Yu Tianlin a dragon origin fruit. One is because he needs to use all the resources to supply himself, in the hope that he can break through level 97 and lead the Blue Lightning Overlord Sect to a higher level. As for the second point, I feel that Yu Tianlin's talent has been wasted. Even if he is given a dragon source fruit to make up for his dragon power, so what? A soul master can only have at most 9 soul rings in his life, but one of Yu Tianlin's soul rings has already been discarded. Even if he improves his level in the later stage, he will always be a little bit worse when fighting against strong players of the same level. However, now, Yu Tianlin can use a special method to increase the age of his first soul ring. That is to say, his first soul ring will not become a weakness, but may become his trump card, enabling him to go far in the later stage. Stronger than soul masters of the same level, Yu Yuanjin believed that as long as several elders knew about Yu Tianlin's ability, they would definitely agree with it, just a dragon origin fruit, but Yu Yuanjin didn't intend to tell them about it. Yu Tianlin's ability is really too strong, it should not be revealed. That it's not that Yu Yuanjin doesn't trust the elders, but that the fewer people who know about this kind of thing, the better. Thinking of this, Yu Yuanjin warned, Tianlin, don't tell others about your external spirit bone, even Mingfeng and Xiaoro can't tell. As long as you don't tell, no one will suspect you. A strand of hair will be the external spirit bone. Yu Tianlin nodded, expressing his understanding. Naturally, he knew the importance of keeping secrets, so he wouldn't yell outside. Yu Yuanjin continued, as for Longyuan fruit, I can't give it to you directly. Just now your second grandfather came here to discuss this matter with me, and finally we decided to let you fight Tianqing after 4 months. If you can win, I will give you a dragon origin fruit. Yu Tianlin asked suspiciously, fight with Tianqing? Has his martial soul awakened? What is the level of innate soul power? Yu Yuanjin smiled and said directly, level 8.5. 8.5, after 4 months. Okay. Yu Tianlin readily agreed. If all he had was a 10-year level white spirit ring, he would have to hesitate a bit, not daring to agree directly, because there is a qualitative gap between a 10-year soul ring and a century-old soul ring. Unless there is an absolute advantage in level, only a soul master with a 10-year soul ring can beat an ordinary 100-year soul ring. What's more, Yu Tianqing's first soul ring will definitely not be an ordinary century-old soul ring. It is estimated that it will be around 400 years old, but Yu Tianlin is right now. 0.4 months is enough for him to raise his soul power by more than 1 level, and the age of the first soul ring has been raised to more than 200 years. Yu Tianlin could already imagine the picture. At that time, it will be my 12.5 plus 200-year-old soul ring versus Yu Tianqing's 11th level plus nearly 400-year-old soul ring. Although the age of the spirit rings is nearly 200 years behind, they are all century-level spirit rings. Although there is a gap, the gap is not that big. All in all, Yu Tianlin's soul power is dominant, and Yu Tianqing's soul ring is dominant. After cancelling each other, the strength of the two is the same. That being the case, of course Yu Tianlin would not be afraid. He is the soul of an adult, and if he beats a 6-year-old child, even if his strength is the same, he still has a great advantage, so he probably won't lose. Seeing that Yu Tianlin agreed immediately, Yu Yuanjin couldn't help showing a satisfied smile, patted Yu Tianlin on the shoulder, and praised, that's right, the soul masters of the assault department just can't be cowardly. Our Blue Lightning Overlord Zong's soul master must have the momentum to move forward. Yu Tianlin shook his head and said, Grandpa, although I can increase the age of the first soul ring by attracting lightning strikes with the external soul bone, the noise caused by this is really too big. If I'm at home, it won't take long. It will be surrounded by people, and the matter of the external spirit bone will be easily leaked. Yu Yuanjin smiled and said, I have considered this a long time ago. After I finish handling the sect's affairs today, I will personally take you to my exclusive retreat location. From tomorrow onwards, you won't have to go to the Zongmen Academy for the time being. I will arrange a special person to train you. Well, it's Yujin. I will ask Yujin to make a training plan. For the next 4 months, you will complete the corresponding exercise content under his supervision every morning to improve your physical fitness. In the afternoon, you will have combat training with him. Improve your actual combat ability. At night, I will attract lightning strikes at the place exclusively for my retreat, and cultivate your soul power. Although Yu Yuanjin only made a rough arrangement, it is quite reasonable to take into account the 3 aspects of physical fitness, actual combat experience, and soul power cultivation. From Yu Tianlin's point of view, as long as he follows this set of operations once, after 4 months, his strength will definitely improve a lot. Okay Grandpa, then I'll go back first. After there were no other questions, Yu Tianlin said goodbye to Yu Yuanjin directly, turned and left. Yu Yuanjin did not continue to deal with the affairs of the sect, but looked at Yu Tianlin's leaving back, thinking about Yu Tianlin's future development. If Yu Tianlin could raise his first spirit ring to the millennium level before reaching the 20th level, wouldn't that mean that his second spirit ring could also be attached to the millennium level? In the same way, when Yu Tianlin cultivated to level 3000, if he raised the age of his first spirit ring to about 5000 years, wouldn't his third spirit ring be able to reach the level of years? Then when Yu Tianlin reaches the 40th level, he will be able to absorb the 10,000-year spirit ring. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. That the more Yu Engine thought about it, the more excited he became, and finally couldn't help laughing out loud. It seems that our Blue Lightning Overlord Sect is really about to rise this time. End of this chapter. Chapter 15 Practice Quiet Room, Gravity Amplification. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next day, while Yu Tianlin was still eating breakfast, Yu Jian came to the door. "Hi, young lady." After greeting Yu Rou, Yu Jian said to Yu Tianlin, according to the suzerain's order, "From today onwards, you will train with me." After quickly eating the last bite of rice, Yu Tianlin stood up and said, "Understood, let's go." "Yu Jian, don't be too strict, and give Xiaolin some time to rest." Yu Rou looked at Yu Tianlin worriedly, and said, "Xiaolin too, take it easy, don't exercise too much and tire yourself out." "Broken." "Understood, young lady." Yu Jian nodded, but looking at his indifferent expression, anyone with a discerning eye could know that he was just perfunctory. Yu Tianlin also felt dumbfounded. This kind of scheduled assault training must be ruthless. "Didn't you see that you don't even have to go to class for training, if you rest at every turn? What is the difference from normal training?" But Yu Tianlin can also understand that after a day yesterday, the fact that he had absorbed the wrong soul ring was completely spread out. After hearing this, her mother was afraid that she would be under too much pressure. Too tight. "Okay, Mom, I see." Yu Tianlin smiled at Yu Rou, then waved and left with Yu Jian. "Goodbye, Mom." After leaving the house, Yu Tianlin followed Yu Jian towards the sect's martial arts arena. Along the way, everyone he met would look at Yu Tianlin in various ways, like surprise or regret. Yu Tianlin could vaguely hear their discussions. "I heard that Master Tianlin went out this time, and only attached a 10-year level white spirit ring." "Hey, that's not all. It said that Master Tianlin's soul ring comes from a plant-type soul beast, not a single bit of dragon blood." "Really, that's really a pity." Yu Tianlin felt a little speechless as he looked at the passers-by in the distance. Why does this kind of setting where a genius turns useless and passers-by change their attitudes look so familiar? Shouldn't the fiancé come to the door and call off the engagement, and then shout out that Mo bully the young man is poor? No, Yu Tianlin, please wake me up, you don't have a fiancé at all." Shaking his head, after breaking away from the fantasy, Yu Tianlin looked at Yu Jian next to him angrily, and said, "Cousin Yu Jian, the two of us just came back yesterday, and today this matter has spread throughout the sect." "Yes, your mouth is really broken." "Ahem." Hearing what Yu Tianlin said, Yu Jian coughed a little guilty, and explained, "It can't be my fault. After reporting to the suzerain yesterday, I just left the conference hall with my front foot, and I was called to a few feet on the back foot. An elder. A few elders asked me, and I could only tell the truth, and I never mentioned it to others after that. As for how this matter spread, I don't know." Yu Tianlin's heart moved, and he understood what was going on. Since it wasn't Yu Jian who spread it, it could only be revealed by a few elders, and then fueled the flames. As for the reason why the elders did this, Yu Tianlin probably guessed it was nothing more than a few of them were afraid that their grandfather, who was the suzerain, would not obey the rules, renege on his promise and become fat. So they directly gave themselves the Longyuan fruit. So they revealed this news now, and secretly fueled the flames, spread the influence, and created a general trend in the sect, so that Yu Engine could not rely on the identity of the suzerain to mess around. Regarding this, Yu Tianlin didn't know what to say. These elders are too careful. Isn't it just a dragon source fruit? As for making it like this, well, the more you don't want to give it, the more I want it. Just wait, for months later, I will crush Yu Tianqing head on, and I will show you my methods. As for Tianqing, don't blame me if you get beaten, but blame your grandpa. It was your grandpa who nominated you to fight me." Thinking of this, Yu Tianlin was immediately motivated. When Yu Tianlin and Yu Jian came to the Zonman martial arts field, many people had already gathered here to discuss and exchange ideas. When they saw Yu Tianlin's figure, They all focused their eyes on him. Yu Tianlin ignored them and followed Yu Jian into the practice quiet room next to the martial arts arena. The practice quiet room is large and empty, without any extra decorations, but there is a 1-meter-high stone pillar in the center of the quiet room, and I don't know what it is for. As soon as he entered the room, Yu Jian said, "Tianlin, from today onwards, you will be training in this quiet room during the day." Yu Tianlin asked, "Cousin Yu Jian, what should I do? What is the training plan?" "Hey, don't worry." Yu Jian laughed, walked towards the center of the quiet room, and came to the stone pillar. "Tianlin, do you know what this is?" Yu Tianlin shook his head and replied, "How could I know such a thing? Since you don't know, let you experience it yourself, and you will know it naturally." As he said that, Yu Jian directly input his own soul power into that stone pillar, and saw a khaki light suddenly lit up on the stone pillar, and then this light suddenly spread, covering the whole quiet room. Inside, after being swept by the khaki light, Yu Tianlin immediately felt as if he had fallen into a quagmire, and his whole body was under a heavy pressure. He was caught off guard and almost fell to the ground. Fortunately, Yu Tianlin reacted quickly enough to mobilize his own soul power to resist this pressure, so he didn't make a fool of himself in front of Yu Jian. You react quickly." Seeing Yu Tianlin rushing to the street, Yu Jian laughed and said, "Tianlin, how is it? After experiencing it, do you know what's going on?" "It's the gravity boost." Feeling the pressure from his body, Yu Tianlin replied, "And according to my feeling, it should be doubled." Yu Tianlin's current weight is about caddies, and the pressure he feels on his whole body is also about caddies. A simple inference, the gravity should be doubled. Yu Jian nodded. "That's right, the place now shrouded in earthy yellow light has doubled the gravity than normal." "Cousin Yu Jian, how did you do this?" Yu Tianlin cast his eyes on the 1-meter-high stone pillar in front of him, and asked in confusion, "What material is this stone pillar made of? Why did you just look inside injecting soul power? Will it be able to produce a range of gravity increase?" Yu Jian explained, "Tianlin, the important thing is not this stone pillar. The function of this stone pillar is mainly to transmit soul power. As for the increase in gravity, it is produced by the things below. Ask for collections, ask for recommended tickets." End of this chapter. Chapter 16. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yu Jian said, "There is a stone pillar like this in every quiet practice room around the martial arts field, and under each stone pillar is the skeleton of a pair of earth demon bears." Yu Tianlin frowned, "The skeleton of the earth demon bear?" "Yes, the skeleton of the earth demon bear." Yu Jian explained, "Earth demon bear, a kind of soul beast, has the ability to increase gravity after breaking through to the millennium level. As long as the earth demon bear dies naturally, part of its ability to increase gravity will remain in its bones, which will last for a long time. Of course, it is not difficult for our Blue Electric Overlord Sect to kill the Earth Demon Bear, but it must be the skeleton of the Earth Demon Bear that died naturally to have this effect, so it is very difficult to obtain. As you can see, our Blue Electric Overlord Sect, the Overlord Sect, has only built dozens of quiet rooms for cultivation over the years." Yu Tianlin nodded knowingly, looked at the khaki light surrounding his body, and continued to ask, "Cousin Yu Jian, is the increase in gravity only doubled? Can it continue to increase?" Yu Jian looked at Yu Tianlin amusedly, and said, "The ordinary cultivation quiet room we are in now is filled with skeletons of 1,000-year-level earth demon bears, which can only reach double the gravity at most, but the elders, the exclusive training room, has 10,000-year-old earth devil bear skeletons, which are said to be able to reach 5 times the gravity at most. Why, do you still think that this doubled gravity is too low?" Yu Tianlin nodded, and said, "My current weight is about caddies. Even if the gravity is doubled, it is equivalent to an increase of caddies. As long as I use my soul power to resist 50 caddies, it doesn't weigh much." Hey. Hearing Yu Tianlin's words, Yu Jian gave a strange laugh, looked at Yu Tianlin with strange eyes, and made Yu Tianlin feel hairy for a while. Yu Tianlin couldn't stand being watched, and said, "What's wrong? Is there something wrong with my words?" Who said you can use your soul power to resist under this double gravity? Yu Jian restrained his smile, and said lightly, the calm words revealed the meaning that made Yu Tianlin's spine shiver. Hey, Uncle Yu Jian, stop joking. Yu Tianlin's complexion changed suddenly, and he said anxiously, I'm only 6 years old now, if you don't use my soul power, why don't you let me rely on my own body to do it? Can I resist the extra, pounds of weight? It will be difficult for me to just stand, let alone exercise. Yu Tianlin remembered that in the original book, when the Shrek 7 devils were trained by the Master Devil, they didn't seem to be able to carry even 50 caddies. At that time, the youngest of them was 12 years old, and their soul power cultivation was all above level 25. Just like that, a group of people ran like dead dogs. Now I'm only 6 years old, with 11th level soul power, and I've doubled the gravity, which is equivalent to 50 caddies, and I'm not allowed to use my soul power. I think Yu Jian, you are just embarrassing me, fat tiger. Okay. Yu Jian smiled, Tianlin, it's double the gravity, but compared with the real weight of 50 caddies, it's still not that exaggerated. Gravity acts on every part of the body, so this increased weight is shared by all parts of the body. Even if it is double the gravity, after you get used to it, you can bear it. Yu Tianlin still didn't believe it, and looked at Yu Jian suspiciously. Ah, really? Okay, stop talking nonsense, don't waste any more time, it's for your own good anyway. Yu Jian didn't want to explain to Yu Tianlin anymore, so he walked directly to Yu Tianlin's side, raised his hand and patted Yu Tianlin's shoulder lightly. Yu Tianlin immediately felt a powerful soul power pouring in from his shoulder, and instantly spread the soul power that spread all over his body to resist gravity back to his dantian. At the same time, Yu Tianlin, who had lost his soul power to resist, felt his whole body weighed down, and the feeling of being stuck in a quagmire reappeared. Yu Tianlin subconsciously wanted to resist, but it didn't work. His soul power was like a pool of stagnant water. No matter how he pushed it, there was no wave. Tianlin, I just tried to mobilize your soul power. It is impossible for you to break through the seal of my soul power. Yu Jian said, instead of this, you might as well feel the double gravity now. Hearing what Yu Jian said, Yu Tianlin no longer entangled in soul power, and began to experience the feeling of getting up and being in double gravity. Yu Tianlin tried to stretch out his hands and legs, and found that although his body was a lot heavier, it wasn't too exaggerated, and his limbs could still move. Yu Tianlin let out a long breath and said, Uncle Yu Jian, it's exactly as you said. This gravity acts on every part of the body, so it's not that exaggerated to share it with the whole body. Yes, it acts on every part of the body. Yu Jian's voice sounded, and Yu Tianlin felt that he seemed to have something to say, and his heart couldn't help but tense, and an inexplicable feeling of uneasiness rose up. No, did I overlook something? Boom! 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 Just when Yu Tianlin felt uneasy, he found that his heartbeat was getting faster and faster, and the sound of his heartbeat was getting louder and louder, and finally it sounded like a drum beating. The blood in the blood vessels also flowed rapidly with the heartbeat, and the sound was as clear as the flowing water of a river. Yu Tianlin suddenly felt his eyes go black, his whole body went limp, and he fell to his knees. Yu Tianlin's complexion was pale, and he couldn't raise any strength in his body. He said intermittently, I'll go, how could this be? Yu Jian didn't go to help Yu Tianlin up, and said loudly, do you find it difficult to breathe? Why don't you take a deep breath quickly? Adjust your breathing rhythm. Puff. Breathe. 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 Yu Tianlin took deep breaths according to Yu Jian's suggestion. After a few minutes, the uncomfortable feeling was relieved a lot, but the whole body was still heavy under the influence of gravity. After feeling better, Yu Tianlin reluctantly climbed up from the ground. Although he still looked precarious, he had obviously adapted to the current gravity field. Yu Tianlin looked at Yu Jian beside him, and asked, Cousin Yu Jian, what happened just now? Why do I feel so uncomfortable? You got used to it so quickly. It seems that your physical fitness is not bad. Yu Jian was surprised that it took only a few minutes for Yu Tianlin to get used to it, but he still said, Tianlin, didn't you just say it yourself, this gravity acts on all parts of the body. Affects all parts of the body, that Yu Tianlin's heart moved, and he probably understood. End of this chapter. Chapter 17 3-Day Adaptation Period. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 17 3 Days Adaptation Period. Yu Tianlin tentatively replied, Cousin Yujian, you mean the internal organs? Seeing that he only reminded him a little, Yu Tianlin could quickly answer. Yujian couldn't help showing a satisfied smile, and said, that's right, it's the internal organs. Gravity acts on every part of the body, naturally including muscles, blood vessels, internal organs. Seeing Yu Tianlin's thoughtful expression, Yujian continued, in general, exercise, no matter how much weight you add or how much training you have, can only strengthen your own muscles, but the internal organs will not be strengthened much, and they are still extremely fragile. If this continues, it will eventually lead to external strength and internal weakness, leaving weaknesses for oneself. But using gravity to exercise is different. Gravity can affect the internal organs. That is to say, the internal organs need to resist gravity constantly. This is a kind of exercise. The internal organs will become stronger and stronger in resisting gravity until they double at the end. Gravity has no effect at all, and the reinforcement stops. Yu Tianlin's eyes lit up, and he couldn't wait to ask, Cousin Yujian, I understand what you said, so what is the content of our training today? According to the suzerain's request, you will have physical training in the morning, and actual combat training in the afternoon. Yujian said, because the morning is purely physical training, so I will seal your soul power and wait until the afternoon for actual combat training. During training, I will naturally unlock the seal for you. As for the content of physical fitness training, it's not just like that, mainly running. Running again, hearing Yujian's arrangement, Yu Tianlin felt a little speechless. By the way, is there no other way to exercise on the Douluo Continent? I remember that in the original book, when my cheap second uncle Yu Shaojiang was training the Shrek 7 devils, he was also running, Yujian continued, but don't worry too much, with your current appearance. You will probably stop eating after a few minutes of running, and you won't be able to run at all, so I will give you 3 days to get used to the gravity. After 3 days, it will be the devil's training. Let's see how I will train you then. After finishing speaking, Yujian ignored Yu Tianlin, sat cross-legged on the cushion next to the stone pillar, and continued to input his own soul power towards the stone pillar, maintaining the existence of double the gravity field. Yu Tianlin also started to move around in the gravitational field. First he tried to take 2 steps, and then he jumped again, but even with such a slight movement, Yu Tianlin couldn't help breathing a little faster. Take your time and adapt little by little. Moving step by step to the wall of the practice quiet room, Yu Tianlin supported the wall and moved slowly. Just like that, the whole morning passed. Yu Tianlin was supporting his heavy body, moving mechanically, panting heavily, feeling extremely tired. Under a double gravity field, even walking at such a slow speed is no less than a normal sprint. Okay, let's get here first this morning. Suddenly, the faint khaki light covering the entire quiet room dissipated, and Yujian, who had been sitting cross-legged in front of the stone pillar, stood up. Phew, it's finally over. Yu Tianlin suddenly felt light all over, and his whole body felt a sense of euphoria, and he couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. With your current physical fitness, without the blessing of soul power, you can walk slowly under double the gravity field in only half a day, which is not bad. Yujian turned towards Yu Tianlin. He came over and said, it is estimated that tomorrow I can walk normally, and the day after tomorrow I can jog to a certain extent, and then I can carry out normal training. Yu Tianlin cast a sideways glance at Yujian, just nodded at him, and didn't talk to him. He was so tired that he didn't want to say a word now. Yujian didn't care, walked to Yu Tianlin's side, put his hands on his shoulders, and withdrew the soul power that had been suppressed in his body. Oh! The soul power seal was released, and his familiar soul power flooded his body again, dispelling the fatigue of his body, and Yu Tianlin couldn't help moaning comfortably. Yu Tianlin felt that soul power was really a good thing for the first time. Even when he was awakening his martial soul, he didn't feel as comfortable as now. Okay, let's go back to eat, and come to this quiet practice room in 2 hours for the actual combat training in the afternoon. After all, knowing that Yu Tianlin was completely weak now, Yu Jian directly carried him out of the practice quiet room and headed for the suzerain's mansion, which was Yu Tianlin's house. Xiao Lin, you're back. As soon as she got home, Yu Rou sensed the movement, poked her head out, saw Yu Jian was there, and said, Yu Jian is also here, stay for a meal. No, young madam. Yu Jian shook his head, rejected Yu Rou's kindness, and asked, young madam, how are the preparations for the necessary medicinal liquid for Zhongmen disciples after training? Yu Rou looked at Yu Tianlin who was being carried by Yu Jian with a tired face, she couldn't help showing a distressed look, and said, the medicine has been prepared a long time ago, and it's in Xiao Lin's room. My room is over there. Yu Tianlin stretched out his finger to point in the direction of his room. Yu Jian didn't say much, and directly carried Yu Tianlin to his room. Yu Jian pushed the door open, looked at the wooden barrel filled with half-brown liquid in the room, and after confirming that it was correct, he threw Yu Tianlin on the bed. You can make the rest by yourself, take a good soak. This medicinal solution was researched and concluded by our sect seniors after a lot of time. The main effect is to relax the tendons and activate the collaterals, strengthen the foundation and cultivate the vitality, suitable for people with strong use after exercise. Soak for an hour or so, and you won't feel sore all over during the actual combat training in the afternoon. After finishing speaking, Yu Jian turned around and left, closing the door behind him. By the way, after Yu Jian left, Yu Tianlin got up from his bed, took off all his clothes in 2 or 3 strokes, and jumped into the big wooden barrel, wrapped in the brown liquid medicine. Yu Tianlin immediately felt warm all over his body, and the warm feeling was transmitted into his body from the outside world, unexpectedly. The medicinal liquid in the barrel was still warm, and it seemed that it had just been prepared not long ago. Yu Tianlin leaned lazily against the wall of the barrel, stirring the brown medicinal liquid in the wooden barrel boredly, and a faint smell of medicinal materials diffused. Smelling the smell of medicine, Yu Tianlin couldn't help but lose his mind. In other words, should I find the time to learn more about medicinal materials, especially about immortal herbs? Otherwise, even if I have the opportunity to go to Dugu Bo's ice and fire yin yang I won't recognize any of them. Dear readers, if you have money, you can buy a money market, recommended tickets, and if you have no money, you can get a personal market, collection. Thank you for your support. End of this chapter. Chapter 18 Intermission. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After waiting until the medicinal liquid in the big wooden barrel had completely cooled down, Yu Tianlin soaked for a while before slowly getting up, rinsed off the medicinal liquid on her body with the water in the 2 small wooden barrels next to the large wooden barrel, and then changed into a new suit. Clean clothes, turning his head, and then stretching vigorously, Yu Tianlin's whole body suddenly made a bone-cracking sound. The muscle soreness on his body had subsided, and after taking 2 deep breaths, Yu Tianlin immediately felt refreshed. Guru. At this moment, Yu Tianlin's stomach growled. Let's go eat first. Yu Tianlin was indeed a little hungry, so he walked out of his room and walked towards the restaurant. As soon as he entered the restaurant, a faint fragrance hit his nostrils, making his stomach growl again. Yu Rou, who heard the voice, turned her head to look at Yu Tianlin, and said with a smile, Xiaolin, I just finished it here, and I'm about to call you. It's better if you come by yourself now, eat it while it's hot. In fact, there is also a chef in their family who is responsible for cooking, but now it seems that Yu Rou cooks by herself. The lunch made by her mother, Yu Rou, was hearty. In addition to the 3 main dishes of snow-white steamed buns, there was also a plate of fried meat and a plate of vegetables. Although it doesn't look like much, Yu Tianlin is only a 6-year-old child after all, and these are enough for him. Yu Tianlin was also polite, sat in his own seat, and began to eat with big mouthfuls. Seeing Yu Tianlin eating like a hungry ghost reincarnated, Yu Rou couldn't help but show distressed expression, and said softly, Xiaolin, eat slowly, don't choke. Yu Tianlin snorted twice, but did not slow down his eating speed because of his mother's words, and swept away all the food on the table. Hiccup. After hiccuping, Yu Tianlin only felt refreshed for a while. There is nothing better than being able to eat a full meal after a high-intensity workout. Yu Tianlin seemed to be able to feel his body rapidly absorbing the nutrients in the food. Seeing that Yu Tianlin had finished eating, Yu Rou couldn't help but ask, Xiaolin, is the training very hard? Yu Tianlin shook his head and said, "It's not too hard. It's just an adaptation period, and it's not officially training yet. I also know these truths. Only when the body is stronger can it bear more soul power, which is more conducive to future cultivation." Yuro said, "What's more, you will have to fight Tianqing in 4 months. At that time, his spirit ring will definitely be stronger than yours. In order to make up for this, the current high-intensity training is essential." Speaking of this, Yuro couldn't help pinching Yu Tianlin's face, and continued, "Although I understand the truth, but you are only 6 years old now, and you are still so young, you have to work so hard every day, and my mother's heart is full of pain. Not good." "Okay, Mom." Yu Tianlin smiled, "Don't worry, I won't be troubled by these things. Uncle Eugen also knows that his training will not leave me with any troubles, but it will be very simple. I'm just tired, but I can take it." Yuro also knew that Yu Tianlin, as a disciple of the great sect, was also the grandson of the suzerain. These things were unavoidable, and he had to bear the pressure that belonged to him. At this time, Yuro suddenly remembered something, and said in a bad mood, "And your father is the same. At this critical time, he is still in retreat, and he doesn't know what happened outside." Yu Tianlin hurriedly said, "If everything is normal, Dad will be able to break through to level 79 after this retreat, so don't let him know about it for now. His cultivation is more important now, so don't affect his breakthrough. And the elder brother too, he is studying at Tiando Imperial Academy now, and his studies are the most important thing, don't tell him about me. Only he and his grandfather know that Yu Tianlin's first soul ring year can be improved. It's not that the soul ring is too bad, but it's too good, but other people don't know." Yu Tianlin doesn't want his father and elder brother to worry too much about this, so this matter can be delayed as long as possible. After a while, after the soul ring level is raised, they will naturally not worry about it. Well, at that time, I have to discuss it with my grandfather to see if I can make up a more reliable reason that I don't know how to hide my soul ring skills, and others are not fools. When my first soul ring turns purple, everyone will know that there is something wrong." Hearing Yu Tianlin's words, Yuro was taken aback for a moment. Seeing the serious expression on her son's immature face, she felt indescribably cute. Yuro smiled, pinching Yu Tianlin's small face with both hands and began to rub. "Are you an adult or am I an adult? At such a young age, you still worry so much." "Don't worry, Mom knows this, and I won't tell them about you absorbing the wrong soul ring for the time being." Yuro said, "But when your father is out of customs and Xiaoheng comes back from vacation, they will naturally know about it. It's over. My dad doesn't know when he will leave the customs, but he is an adult, so don't worry that. As for my elder brother Yu Tianheng, it has been half a year since he came back from vacation. I had already fought Yu Tianqing at that time. In the process of absorbing the mutated century-old soul ring, the talent is not wasted much, the status in the sect will not change in any way, and the eldest brother does not have to worry about himself." Thinking of this, Yu Tianlin felt relieved, and immediately felt his face being pinched by his mother. "Mom, don't pinch it." Yu Tianlin muttered dissatisfied first, and then asked, "How long has it been since cousin Eugen and I came back just now? How long has it been? Now, let me think about it, it must have been almost an hour." Yuro put her hands on her chin, thought for a while, told the time, and then asked Yu Tianlin, "What's wrong, Tianlin? Are you going to continue your afternoon workout now?" "Ah, then I'd better take a break first." Hearing his mother say that an hour has not passed, Yu Tianlin relaxed for a while, leaned directly on the back of the chair, and said, "Cousin Eugen said that he can rest at noon 2 hours, it's still early, I'll go there later." With a wave of her hand, Yuro signaled the servants next to her to take away the dishes on the table, and said, "Shaolin, since you are so tired, you should go back to your room and rest. I will call for someone to come after half an hour and inform you." Well, it makes sense, leaning on the back of the chair is still not comfortable lying on the bed, although she doesn't want to move, but Yu Tianlin still got up slowly, and walked slowly towards her room. End of this chapter. Chapter 19 Thunder Dragon Claw suitable for both near and far. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the afternoon, Yu Tianlin came to the practice quiet room half an hour earlier, but found that there was no one there. Yu Tianlin thought that Yu Jian would engage in that kind of boring test to see if he came early or stepped in, but now he came early, but Yu Jian was not here. It seems that he thinks too much. Yu Tianlin shook his head. He felt that he had almost rested, so he sat cross-legged on the cushion, entered a shallow level of meditation, and cultivated his soul power by the way, which was a warm-up for the actual combat training in the afternoon. After about half an hour, Yu Tianlin heard the sound of the door opening and knew that it was Yu Jian who had come, so he withdrew from the shallow meditation state and opened his eyes. "Did you come here early?" Looking at Yu Tianlin sitting cross-legged in front of the stone pillar, Yu Jian said, "Actually, you don't need to come here early, as long as you arrive on time. Hard training is very important, but proper rest is also important. Necessary. It's okay, I've already rested." Yu Tianlin got up, looked at Yu Jian and asked directly, "How do we operate this afternoon's actual combat training?" "Don't worry, I'll tell you slowly." Yu Jian smiled and said, "What is the purpose of our 4-month training?" Yu Tianlin said casually, "Of course I will defeat Shaoqing 4 months later and get the Longyuan fruit." "Yes, the goal is to defeat Tianqing." Yu Jian nodded in agreement, and continued, "Now that the goal has been determined, the next step is targeted training. Unless there is an accident like yours, cough cough." Speaking of the accident with Yu Tianlin's first soul ring, Yu Jian coughed dryly with guilt, glanced at Yu Tianlin, and found that his expression hadn't changed much. Then he continued, "Otherwise, according to the tradition of our Blue Lightning Overlord Sect, Tianqing's first soul ring skill will undoubtedly be Thunder Dragon Claw, which is definitely stronger than your first soul skill. Fortunately, although your first spirit ring ability is definitely not as powerful as the Thunder Dragon Claw, the advantage lies in its secrecy. No one knows what your first spirit ability is, so you can win by surprise in battle. So, your top priority now is to gain a deep understanding of the Thunder Dragon Claw skill, and then take corresponding countermeasures during the battle, and finally use your first soul skill unexpectedly to win." Yu Tianlin felt that Yu Jian's analysis was very reasonable, so he couldn't help but nodded. "The so-called Thunder Dragon Claw, that's it," Yu Jian demonstrated while explaining. Immediately, a group of blue rays of light shone on the center of Yu Jian's eyebrows, forming a lightning pattern, and the blue lightning instantly spread to the whole body, and 5 soul rings of yellow, yellow, purple, purple, and black rose up. But this time Yu Jian didn't have any other changes. It seems that he didn't have the ability to activate the dragon transformation. I saw the first soul ring on Yu Jian's body flashed suddenly, and the blue-purple lightning quickly condensed on his right hand, forming a lightning claw about 1 foot in an instant, enveloping his palm. This is the Thunder Dragon Claw. Attaching it to the palm of your hand can increase your attack power by 50%. As he said that, Yu Jian took out a short sword from his storage soul guide with his other hand, and pinched it randomly with the lightning claw, and the short sword immediately shattered into several pieces. Yu Tianlin quickly squatted down, inspecting the fragments of the dagger that fell on the ground to see what material it was forged from. After all, his identity is there. Yu Tianlin has seen many good things, so he is well informed. When he saw the dagger fragments, he quickly recognized them, and couldn't help but exclaimed, "This is 100 forged refined iron." Yu Jian nodded and said, "That's right, I didn't use broken copper and iron to fool you. This short sword is made of fine iron, and the quality is not bad." Yu Tianlin stood up, looked at Yu Jian in disbelief, and asked, "The hardness of fine iron is already relatively high, but you can break it into several pieces with a random pinch. Thunder Dragon Claw is the first. It's just a soul skill. If it's just crushing a rock, I have no doubts, but it's too exaggerated to be able to do this with refined iron. Actually, it's not bad." Yu Jian smiled. "After all, my level is relatively high. Even if I use the first soul skill, the power will be greatly improved. If it is replaced by an ordinary one-ring blue electric tyrant dragon soul master, although it can also destroy this short sword, but it will definitely not be as casual as me." "That's good." Hearing what Yu Jian said, Yu Tianlin couldn't help but relax a lot. "Don't be careless," Yu Jian reminded. "Even if the Thunder Dragon Claw of the first ring level is not as good as me, it is still irresistible to you. In the battle 4 months later, the use of weapons is definitely not allowed. At that time, you will be unarmed, and Tian Qing's palm will be wrapped in Thunder Dragon claws. You will not be able to beat him in melee anyway. Yu Jian stretched out his right hand in front of Yu Tianlin and said so, looking at the claws of thunder and lightning flashing blue-purple lightning in front of him. Yu Tianlin was silent for a moment, and then said, since melee combat is not good, how about long-range attack? It seems that Tianlin's first soul skill is a long-range attack. Yu Jian nodded clearly, but still attacked, but have you forgotten? The Thunder Dragon Claw can also attack from a long distance. As for the power, so, see for yourself. As he said that, Yu Jian put his normal palm on the stone pillar beside him, twisted it slightly, and a steel plate slowly rose from the ground about 10 meters away. Looking at the steel plate in front of him, Yu Jian took a few steps back, opened a distance and said, this place is about 15 meters away from that steel plate, within the maximum attack range of Thunder Dragon Claw. As for this steel plate, it is 1 foot thick. I will show you the long-range attack ability of Thunder Dragon Claw now. As soon as the words fell, Yu Jian's Thunder Dragon Claw on the upper right shot out towards the steel plate at an extremely fast speed. Wherever it passed, there was a burst of air crackling and crackling. Boom! The distance of 15 meters was fleeting, and the Thunder Dragon Claw hit the steel plate and exploded instantly. The blue-purple thunder flashed, submerging the entire steel plate. Yu Tianlin subconsciously raised his hands to cover the dazzling thunder, and asked, is the killing range so large? It's not that exaggerated. Yu Jian shook his head and said, all around is the thunder light scattered after the Thunder Dragon Claw exploded, only a little paralyzing effect. The real killing range is in the center of the Thunder Dragon Claw explosion. While speaking, the thunder light slowly dissipated. Yu Tianlin cast his eyes on the steel plate, and found that it was so. Only the part hit by the Thunder Dragon Claw was pitch black, while the rest of the steel plate was intact. Suddenly, Dai Mubai felt that Dai Mubai's skills were extremely abnormal. The first spirit ability White Tiger Body Barrier increased attack, defense, and strength by 50%, and the third spirit ability White Tiger Vajra Transformation was just a soul ring that had just reached the Millennium level. Attack, defense, and strength all increased 100%, it feels like no one in the 4 DouluoContinent has a higher growth rate than him. End of this chapter. Chapter 20 Winning by Go. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yu Tianlin leaned closer to watch, and found that the 1 foot thick steel plate was directly pierced halfway by the Thunder Dragon Claw, and a small groove was also blown out. This power is really terrifying. Yu Jian also came over and said, now you should have a basic understanding of the long-range and close-up abilities of the Thunder Dragon Claw, and the next step is targeted training. Before training, I need to know your first soul skill first. Yu Jian looked at Yu Tianlin and said, don't worry, I will keep it a secret for you, and I will never give your first soul skill to you. Leak out. Hearing what Yu Jian said, Yu Tianlin just squinted at him without saying a word. Speaking of the news that I absorbed the wrong soul ring, the reason why everyone knows it is because Yu Jian first revealed it, and now I am telling myself to keep it a secret, aha. Hey, what kind of eyes are you looking at? Yu Jian said a little annoyed. The suzerain didn't issue the password before, and several other elders came to ask me again. Of course, I can only tell the truth. As for now, it is estimated that the elders will not be interested in the ability of a white soul ring, and the suzerain also asked me to keep it secret this time, so I will not reveal it. However, Yu Tianlin still shook his head and refused to tell Yu Jian. Okay. Seeing Yu Tianlin's resolute attitude, Yu Jian retreated and said, then just briefly introduce your first soul skill. Yu Tianlin said concisely, Thunder Attribute, Single Target, Long-Range Attack. Sure enough. Yu Jian said clearly, but it's a pity, it's not a ranged attack. Although single-target attacks are more powerful than area of effect attacks, but given the year of your soul ring, it is impossible for it to be as powerful as Thunder Dragon Claw, which is also a single-target attack, so in this case, a range attack would be more useful. This is troublesome. If you attack from a distance, your first soul ability is no match for Thunder Dragon Claw, let alone when you get close. Yu Tianlin just looked at Yu Jian calmly and asked, so? How can I win? I haven't been hit by the disadvantages I analyzed, and I have a good mentality. After complimenting Yu Tianlin, Yu Jian showed a smile and said the answer directly, procrastinate, work hard. Yu Tianlin nodded, indeed, my soul power level is a little higher than Shaoqing's. If the time comes to fight a war of attrition, I will have a certain advantage. It's not just that. Yu Jian continued, including the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex, all Thunder attribute martial spirits have a common advantage: horrific explosive power and strong attack power. But under this advantage, there is also hiding a flaw. Yu Tianlin thought thoughtfully, cousin Yu Jian, what do you mean, endurance? That's right, it's endurance. Speaking of this, Yu Jian's expression became serious, because of the powerful attack burst ability. It is inevitable that Thunder Attribute Soul Masters will consume more soul power than other Attribute Soul Masters. Therefore, the endurance and continuous attack ability of Thunder Attribute Soul Masters are not high. Tianlin, when you fight with others in the future, you must pay attention to this point. Make quick decisions and don't be delayed and consumed by the opponent. Yu Tianlin nodded, expressing his understanding. Yu Jian continued, after 4 months, Tianqing will be able to obtain at least a 300-year-old soul ring, so his Thunder Dragon Claw will also be very powerful. Correspondingly, using this skill will consume more of his energy. Soul power. Not to mention that he will only be at the 11th level by then, so how many times can he use the Thunder Dragon Claw with a little soul power? Yu Jian stretched out his palm, with 5 fingers dangling in front of Yu Tianlin, up to 5 times. After 5 times, he will lose his soul power. On the contrary, although your first soul ability is less powerful, it also consumes less. Coupled with your superior soul power, your number of attacks can be more than double that of his. Yu Jian had already explained everything thoroughly, and Yu Tianlin finally understood the way to win, and concluded, in the final analysis, we still have to distance ourselves from him and fight long range. After all, the long-range Thunder Dragon Claw is only a single target attack, so it is not particularly difficult. Dodge, as long as I can dodge a few times, his soul power will be greatly consumed, and then I will fight back. That's right, that's it. Yu Jian agreed with Yu Tianlin's conclusion and said, the key to winning or losing is speed and agility. Your speed must be faster than Tianqing, so that you can always keep a certain distance. And the reaction needs to be more agile, so as to dodge the attack of the Thunder Dragon Claw at a critical moment. The training in the morning, in addition to improving your physical fitness, is most important to exercise your speed. Correspondingly, the afternoon is to train your dodge ability. Speaking of this, Yu Jian took out a grey cloth bag from his storage soul guide. Yu Jian weighed the grey cloth bag in his hand twice, and said, this is a sandbag. I'll hit you with it later. All you have to do is avoid it. Throwing sandbags, this feels a bit unreliable. Aware of Yu Tianlin's thoughts, Yu Jian added, don't worry, I have used the Thunder Dragon Claw for so many years, I really know this skill very well. I will let the sandbag have the same speed as the Thunder Dragon Claw, as long as if you can avoid my sandbag, then when you fight Tianqing, it will be easy for you to avoid his Thunder Dragon Claw. Okay, don't talk nonsense, start now. All that should be said has been said. Yu Jian stopped talking, stepped back a few steps, opened a distance of 10 meters, and threw the sandbag at Yu Tianlin with his hands. Looking at the oncoming sandbag, Yu Tianlin subconsciously wanted to get out of the way, but the speed of the sandbag was so fast that Yu Tianlin had no time to move and was hit by the sandbag directly. Ouch! Yu Tianlin immediately felt a sharp pain in his right shoulder, but he didn't expect that Yu Jian would exert such great strength just by throwing a sandbag. The reaction is too slow. Yu Jian's stern voice came, I just aimed at your shoulder. It stands to reason that you can dodge it with a little dodge, but you didn't do it. Give me my attention. Yu Jian took out a sandbag from the stored soul guide again, and casually tossed it in his hand, only to see a layer of thunder lingering on the sandbag. This time, I will add lightning attributes to the sandbag. If you are hit, you will suffer. As soon as the words were finished, a sandbag flashing with lightning flew out of Yu Jian's hand. Yu Tianlin sensed something was wrong when Yu Jian was speaking, and without hesitation, he was just a lazy donkey rolling. Unexpectedly, he just escaped this sandbag. The sandbag hit the ground, and the lightning contained in it burst out immediately. Yu Tianlin's heart skipped a beat when he saw it. WDNMD, really? End of this chapter.